Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be painting a picture of my dog. I previously painted a picture of my dog that I posted a few days ago. In this painting, I am focusing mainly on color, so I'm not focusing on the details of like the fur and the eyes and getting everything perfect. I'm just focusing on making sure that I'm getting the colors accurate. And I have a full-length video of this painting on my Patreon, which is linked below. And for this painting, I'm using the same materials as my last painting, which is actually the illustration on the right-hand side. I kind of did both of them at the same time, but then kind of separated and focused on different areas within each painting. But that one is also a full-length video available on my Patreon. So the supplies I used are the same. I'm using my Etcher sketchbook. It's the white covered one, so I think it's the everyday sketchbook. And then I am using a Princeton Neptune round sized 8 brush. And I'm using my cellular paints. And the colors I'm using for this painting are pretty much the neutral brown tones. So I have the 48 half pan palette and I'm sticking to that bottom row. So I'm using yellow ochre, gold ochre, neutral tint, Van Dyke brown, raw sienna, raw umber, and ivory black. So I was sticking with those neutral colors and trying to pick out the colors and the tones that I see in the photo of my dog and just trying to get that as accurate as possible. So I'm kind of painting in like blocky areas of where I see certain colors, and then I'm trying to mix my watercolors to match those tones that I'm seeing in the painting. I pretty much started with an underlayer though on both of these paintings, and I believe I used like a mixture of the yellow ochre and gold ochre because I really wanted like a light layer. For me, it's always easier to start painting if I have like an initial base layer down. I don't know, for me, painting on plain white paper is really intimidating, and I tend to focus more on like what if I make a mistake. So laying down just like one solid color kind of helps me out and gives me a starting point, and then I slowly build up the colors on top of that layer, basically thinking of each color in the painting as like a shape. So I pick out like the ear, and I'll focus on like what shape and what color do I see, and then I transfer that to my painting. Which tends to help when getting the shape right, because if you break it down into like bigger shapes and colors and kind of transfer that to your painting, I feel like it's easier to get an accurate depiction of that painting from the reference that you're using. I don't know, it helps me out a lot when I'm breaking complex illustrations or like complex photos into simple shapes and forms. So it's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm not really focusing too much on blending the colors. I'm not focusing on making sure I have every little strand of fur. I'm just focusing on what color I see and how I would apply that to this illustration. And for some reason, I actually like this illustration a lot better than on the right. My husband disagrees. He likes the one on the right better, which, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I just feel like I think I approached the one I'm doing now better, and I liked the results a lot better. It's a lot more flowy, and I don't know, you'll have to see it when it's done, but I liked the sort of effect that it gave, and I think it's mainly due to me not focusing on the fur so much and just focusing on the color, because naturally I feel like adding those different colors together, the watercolors kind of blend and melt into each other and create those really nice textures and blends on their own naturally, which kind of simulates fur. So right now I'm actually focusing on getting in those shadows. So again, looking at the colors used in the photo reference that I'm using. Another thing too that really helps that me when I'm painting is starting with the eyes and the nose. Specifically on animals, the nose really helps me out because it's kind of like the focal point. And once I have that done, I feel a little bit more relaxed. And in this piece specifically, like, I was really frustrated until I did the whites of the eyes because it just didn't look right. And once I did the highlight in the eyes, it actually looked more like a realistic eye to me. So that kind of helped and made the rest of the painting go a lot smoother and easier. So I guess I would recommend when painting, like, find that focal point and do that first, and then the rest of the painting will kind of come easy and naturally for you, and there'll be less pressure that you have on yourself because it already looks more alive. Like, doing the eyes and the nose immediately adds in that sense of realism. And here I'm actually using a method where you're lifting the paint off. So I'm lifting areas to make them lighter. And by doing that, I am adding in those highlights. So to do that, I rinse my brush with water, wipe it off, and then gently rub the paper, and some of that pigment will come off. And then you just wipe it off and then repeat to get those highlights. So it's not as realistic as the right side as far as the fur goes, but I feel like you get a sense that it's a dog, you get a sense that it's a golden retriever, you get a sense that it has long hair, and I'm adding in little fur details, but I'm being very loose about it. I'm again focusing on shadows and the colors that I see. So yeah, I don't know, it was just a nice approach of painting rather than trying to focus on every little detail, just selecting certain details to focus on. And that is all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!